Hey, welcome back to D-Loney V8 Motorsports, coming at you live from the driver's seat of the old 55. I thought I'd do a quick update and maybe give a race report from last weekend. Had a really good time, nice weekend with my buddies. I've already posted a couple of videos. If you're waiting for the Sunday shifters video or the Sunday just general video, be patient, I will get those up. Should have them up this week still. It takes a while, had a bunch of clips and had a lot of help. I wanted to shout out to Kelly Nicholson, Ron, Tiki Man, Huegli, Scott James, an actual real photographer with skills. Thanks, Scott. George Burns took some video from the sidelines. I might have even got one in there from Brett Davis, and definitely had a couple from Tammy Hall. So thanks, you guys. They took a few clips and shot them over to me, and so I'm going to include those in the video and already have on the Saturday stuff. And so it was a really fun weekend. I got the best slip right here. This car was personal best after personal best, both Saturday and Sunday. It just went quicker and quicker. I got a shout out to my buddy, Scott Davis. Brett kind of relayed the info. Scott gave me some clutch tune-up information, and so I loosened up the clutch a little bit more and ended up lowering the RPM. And then kind of on my own decided to put 5 clicks in the shocks in the back, and it really liked it. It didn't spin. It was 60 footing, better than it ever has. And Sunday morning, nice cool conditions. I got my best slip here. I actually had a 002 light, which is totally unheard of. Anybody who knows me knows that. 141 60 foot. It went 615 to the 8th at 111 miles an hour. And it went a 970 with a 2 at 137.84. I've got one video of that run from Ron. I'll plug that in here. Just going to keep this a short update, and I'm also going to show folks how to run this thing. I've had a few people ask, and I thought I'd go ahead and put it in here. So stay tuned. We'll flip the camera around. I'll show you how this thing goes. Okay, here we are in the driver's seat of this thing, the cockpit, where the magic happens, whatever you want to call it. I'll show you some of the controls. We'll start out with the switches. It's got the basics. So ignition, fuel, water, fan, and start. Basically, hit the ignition and the fuel, fire it up. Once it's running, hit the water pump and the fan. You don't need the lights, and there's nothing wired to the accessory that I know of. Once she's fired up, you go ahead and you put it into first gear. And so right now it's in reverse. See if this will work here sitting still. Probably not. So that's neutral in the middle. There's a little trigger on the side you pull up. So for first gear, yeah, it's not going to go. But you basically lift this lever up, and sometimes you'll see me kind of pause, and that's because I'm letting the clutch out and getting a little bit of spinning going on in the transmission, and the thing slides forward. It goes to about here, and that's first gear. And basically you pull into the water. As you pull into the water, if you ever watch me do it, you'll hear it kind of lug a little bit. That's because as soon as it takes off, I pull second gear. So in the water, we're in second gear. You come up here, you stand on the brakes, you hold the line lock switch, which is right here, and then you got the car held still. When they give you the go sign, you give it a little gas, let the clutch out, and immediately I pull it into third gear. So in the water, you do a third gear burnout, get them burning, watch your buddy if he's guiding you, or watch the side mirrors, see when the smoke comes. Go ahead and before the tires stop spinning, this is a recommendation from Ram Clutches, you push in the clutch. You don't want the tires to catch first. You want to push in the clutch before they stop. So you'll see me roll out of the water, spinning the tires, and then I'll try to get on the clutch and get that pushed in before the tires stop. As soon as the tires stop, you push the levers back forward. You're back in first gear. You look up at the starter and you start to roll forward. And basically, when you start to go forward, you got 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the clutch, and you're using this handbrake. And so as you start to go into the pre-stage beams, you want to have some pressure on it, and then you drag it in with the clutch. You give it a little bit of gas, and you just kind of drag the clutch a little bit and hold the brake pretty still until you're staged. Once you're staged, you keep the brake nice and tight. Clutch is in hard, and you can tell, not that I look at it, but you can tell the clutch is in because there's an LED right here. And so that's how I know the clutch switch is activated. The two-step's going to work. It's going to go right now. It's going to go to 3,500 RPM. So when the tree comes down, you see the first yellow. What I do is just mat the gas and puts it right on the two-step. You see 3,500 on the tack. And then as soon as you get to the last yellow, you keep your foot planted. You let out the clutch. You pull second gear. When it's ready, you pull third. You pull fourth, just like that. As soon as you cross the finish line, snap them forward instantly because you want the transmission to freewheel. As soon as you're out of fourth gear, it'll coast and freewheel, and you're done with your run. Good times. Beautiful run.